Don't you tell me that it wasn't meant to be. Call it quits, call it destiny. Just because it won't come easily doesn't mean we shouldn't try. We had a good thing going lately. Might not have always been a fairy tale, but you know and I know that they ain't real. I'll take the truth over the story. You might have tried my patience greatly, but I'm not about to let us fail. I'll be the wind picking up your sail. But won't you do something for me? Don't you tell me that it wasn't meant to be. Call it quits, call it destiny. Just because it won't come easily doesn't mean we shouldn't try. Come and going, inside out, back to front. Old tango and messy, but that's how we've been and we'll always be. And that's alright with me. Don't you tell me that it wasn't meant to be. Call it quits, call it destiny. Just because it won't come easily doesn't mean.
What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. Early morning, man. I will say, a couple of these London games early in a couple early weeks in a row, it's a little too much, NFL. I've heard the rumors you want 17 international games. I don't know if I'm down for that, bro. But look, it is a good morning nonetheless. We are here to answer some start sits. We're going to be going today for about 45-ish minutes, leaving us a little bit of time right before that game kicks off there in London with the Jets and the Broncos. Now, a couple stuff to get through this morning before we get into the actual start sits. First of all, thank you everybody who has jumped into the chat early this morning. Andrew, Neo, Kels, Bruce City Bob, everybody. Andrew says good morning and good luck to everybody. So good luck to everybody as well. And Neo says hoping that my op doesn't realize QJ isn't playing today. So good morning to everybody. Just wanted to get that first off the rip. And also wanted to let you guys know, too, that if you do want to support the show, if you do want to support the channel, the best way to do that is by signing up over on Underdog. Right now, new customers who play $5 when they use promo code LeagueFFB, they will get $100 in bonus funds to play with, and it is a good time to do it because it is Boostober over on Underdog, where they're doing promos in the app every single day of the month. So like I said, if you want to support the show, League FFB is the best way to do it. Promo code on Underdog. So look, let's just get right into it, man. Anthony says good morning. A-Rod says back with the black hoodie / t-shirt. A-Rod was saying that he's always seen me in the black. It is what it is, man. I don't know. I guess I got a lot of black that I have in my closet. All of my League FFB t-shirts are black. I feel like the logo just looks the cleanest on it. And most of the time I'm wearing a League FFB t-shirt of some sort when I'm making these videos. So, hey, it is what it is. And Anthony says, got that like button. Yes, sir. That is the best free way to support the channel. So, hey, look, I don't want to waste too much time on the intro. Just quick information for you guys. From Adam Schefter this morning, Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase expected to play. Ravens wide receiver Zay Flowers expected to play. Supposed to be on a pitch count. Juwan Jennings expected to play. Mac Jones expected to play. Kyler Murray not going to be playing. So that is some important news for you guys. Now, let's just get into the first question. Kels had the first one. It says Troy Franklin or Hunter Henry in the flex, already starting Jake Ferg. It's a good question. I think I'm going to go with Hunter Henry. I just feel like he has the most touchdown upside, especially if it's a tight end premium. It's a good matchup against New Orleans. New Orleans is 26th right now against the tight end position, allowing 13.3 fantasy points per game to the group. So probably going to be going with Hunter Henry. What else we got here? Andrew says, I have 2 awful questions to ask. Thanks to injuries and buys. Pick 2 of them. Cup, Hollywood, Bourne. And then start Michael Carter or Haskins. These are tough. So 2 of them with Cup, Hollywood, and Bourne. I think I'm going to be going with Bourne and Cup in that game. And then with the other ones, I'm going to go with Michael Carter. So those are going to be the ones that I go with in that. Bruce City Bob says, good morning, PPR, tight end premium, start 1, Andrews or Shepard. Also, Engram, Coleman, Horton, Ertz, pick 2. Thanks, bro. Good luck this week. Good luck to you too, man. So with the tight end premium, I'm going to be going with Andrews over Shepard, I think. And then he says, Engram, Coleman, Horton, Ertz, pick 2 of them. I'll go with Ertz and Coleman, personally. A-Rod says everything is right in the world with the black shirt and hoodie. All right, man. Jeff says Worthy or Bourne and Steelers defense or Packers defense. Thanks. I like Worthy more than Bourne. And then as far as the defenses go, I have the Packers defense just a couple spots higher than the Steelers. So I'm going to be doing those 2. I just realized I don't know if you guys can hear it. I'm hearing this a producer tag or some shit in the music. It's driving me nuts already. I will not be replaying this one again. In fact, you know what? It's going to drive me nuts if I don't do it. So let's just swap this out real quick. You guys probably didn't even notice nor care. But it's going to drive me insane if I keep hearing that producer tag over and over again. So there we go. Swapped it out. Add Loveland as a stash over Coker or Io Manor. I think, given the fact that you have Warren, I don't know if you feel like you need Loveland. I probably, based off of your roster construction, I wouldn't be doing that. I think you need the wide receiver more than you need the tight end. JMO, Luke McCaffrey, or Sterling in the flex, half PPR. Give me JMO, highest big game potential. And out of the flex, I just need big game. I don't really feel like these other guys are, going to give you that big game. And it says pick 2, Garrett Wilson, DK, or George Pickens. Give me George Pickens and Garrett Wilson. Those are the 2 that I want to play. Hey-Rod says, no, I'm not trolling you for it. 85% of my closet is all black clothes. I'm just saying it was trippy seeing a different colored tee because you always in black. Yeah, I think it was it was like that gray Nike dry fit. I have like a long sleeve. It's like a Nike dry fit that I was wearing, and I think that's when you were like, that was weird. But also, it was probably weird because I don't like wearing like white t-shirts or light colored t-shirts on camera, because with the lights all around me, I feel like it just overemphasizes the white and it just looks way bright on camera. So the fact that it was a brighter, like a light colored shirt, probably looked pretty weird. Anthony says Henderson, Stevenson, Charbonnet, Vidal, pick 2. I think I'm going to go with Henderson. Honestly, I kind of think Henderson and Stevenson are the highest in my rankings, but I don't know if I want to play both of those running backs. I'm probably going to go with Henderson and Sharp just to diversify. I don't want to play both. But yeah, probably those 2. 6-point passing, 0.2 points per carry, super flex spot. You got Cooper Rush or Jalen Warren. 6-point passing kind of makes me want to throw Cooper Rush in there. I know it didn't look good last week, but Cooper Rush, the matchup this week is a little bit better for him against the Rams. I'm probably going to be playing him. With the trade rumors about Brees, would it be crazy for me to try and trade Nico or Nico for Brees Sutton in a second? I don't know if I would do it. Brees is he was a player that I kind of feel like I don't want to trade for at the moment. I was thinking about trading for him in one of my leagues, and I decided against it because I've heard rumors about him going to the Chargers, and while that seems like it would be nice while Hampton is out, that feels like it would be so messy once Hampton is back. And so I'm probably staying away from Brees until we get a little bit more clarity on destination. Is Aaron Jones' value cooked when he gets back? Mason hasn't exactly been great the last few weeks. No, I think it's still going to be a backfield split. In fact, I think the Vikings offense will look better with Jones back in the lineup. Like, I think it'll be a little bit more balanced. Mason, he's been fine, but like you said, he hasn't been great. He hasn't like stole the job like I thought he might be able to. And honestly, he's fumbled a little bit more than I'd like to see too. And I think that's going to be a big role in why it's a split backfield. Frizzle says, I traded CD for Javonte Williams, QJ, and Jordan Addison, but last second before the trade process, it got vetoed. At least I still got CD. Have to ride with Vidal today. Why did that get vetoed? That's interesting. Why that would be a veto-worthy trade. I mean, I prefer to have the CD side of the deal personally, but kind of crazy that would be a veto trade. I hate vetoes, by the way. Hunter Henry or Kelsey? Good question. I am pretty sure that I have Travis Kelsey higher in my rankings than I do. He's my 5th ranked tight end this week. Hunter Henry's my 8th ranked. So give me Kelsey. How do we feel about Trevion Henderson? I want to see it, man. I want to see the breakout. People keep saying like this week's the week that we break out. I'll believe it when I see it. I've traded for him on the low in a redraft league. Maybe it wasn't the low. Kind of was. I needed running back help pretty bad. And my wide receiver room was stacked. I had Amon-Ra, JSN, and Rome as my 3 wide receivers. And felt really stacked there. So I ended up down tiering Rome into Marvin and got Trevion Henderson thrown in on top. So hopefully there's a breakout because I need some running back help bad. But right now in my rankings, Henderson is a fringe RB2. Good matchup against New Orleans, though. It really isn't a Henderson problem, though, Kels. It's a Mike Vrabel problem. Hashtag pasty season. Especially now that we're going to get into the winter here, A-Rod. Like, I'm inside. I don't like the snow. I don't do the cold, really. I'm, just a kid from the desert. I grew up in Las Vegas, so like I've been in the desert. So as I've moved and got older and got out of Las Vegas and been into other places where it snows and stuff, I hate that shit, dude. I do not go outside in the winter. I avoid the cold. D Money says Judkins, Bill Krosky. I almost said Bill Cosby or Dobbins in the flex. Full PPR. I'm leaning towards Bill. I would be playing Judkins. Judkins would be my play. He is my highest ranked running back against Pittsburgh. Jeremy, my guy, what's up? He says, good morning. I have an offer of Amon-Ra and Scattaboo for Jahmyr Gibbs. That's not a bad offer. If you need the running back help, I think it's pretty fair going from Jahmyr to Amon-Ra just straight across. Scattaboo is a pretty solid player to be thrown in. I think I like the Amon-Ra and Scattaboo side. Would dropping Keon Coleman for Luther Burden off of waivers be too much? No, similar players. Coleman's getting more opportunity now, but he's not doing a ton with it. Luther Burden, we'll see. He's still a wait-and-see kind of guy. So I guess if you're playing long game for the end of season, maybe Burden. DJ Moore's been floated around as a trade candidate potentially as well. But Keon Coleman's definitely getting more opportunity at the moment. Dak or May? Let's see. I have both of these guys fairly high in my rankings this week. Dak's my QB8. Drake May's my QB5. So let's go with Drake May. PPR flex, Ridley or Shepard. Give me Ridley. We've seen the target share go up as soon as they switch play callers. So I'm hoping that it continues going into the second half of the season. So give me Ridley here. Golden or Diggs in a half point. Diggs by a mile, man. I have Diggs so high in my rankings this week. I mean, not like so high, but I have him high this week. I think the target share is there. I think the opportunity's there. I mean, I have him high. Like, he's top 10 in my rankings this week. Fields or Jones? Good question. I got Daniel Jones higher against Arizona. It's a little bit of a tougher matchup for Justin Fields. Dylan says, let's have a day. Damn straight, let's do it. Full PPR, team scatter boobs here. One flex, Bourne at Tampa Bay, Swift at Washington. Rank these quarterback starts. T-Law versus Seattle, Mac Jones at Tampa Bay, Fields versus Denver. All right, so for the flex, I'm going Swift at Washington. When I'm ranking the quarterback starts, it's going to be Fields, then T-Law, then Jones in that order. And Dylan, we got another nickname for Scatabo the other day. It's Scataboom is what I heard the other day, and people were doing the boom flex from those Costco guys. What else do we got here? There's also rumors of Brees to the Chiefs. I saw that. That would be a pretty solid landing spot for him. I think that would probably be the most ideal landing spot for him, potentially. Henderson or Stevenson today and rest of season. I have Stevenson one spot higher than Henderson in my rankings for this week, but I prefer Henderson rest of season over Stevenson. Non-PPR, I have Higgins, Hendy, and Harvey as potential flex options. Play one of them, or should I drop Harvey / Kyler Murray on waivers for this week to pick up Hanson, Bourne, or Jennings? Yeah, I wouldn't be dropping those to pick up those players. I think you have better players to play. In a non-PPR, I think I'm just going to play T. Higgins and hope that Flacco makes this offense look a little bit better. Jared Goff, Drake May, or Jaden Daniels. Also for my running back, Derrick Henry or David Montgomery. So for the quarterback, Jaden Daniels is my number 2 quarterback on the week. That matchup against Chicago should be good. I'd be playing him. And then running backs with Derrick Henry or David Montgomery. Derrick Henry is going to be my play, but neither of these guys are very high in the rankings. They're my running back 29 and 30 on the week. Troy Franklin, Tony Pollard, or Haskins in the flex. Pick one. Give me Tony P. Marcy says Sutton or Worthy, Caleb or Bo, full PPR. I like Sutton over Worthy, and then for my quarterback, I'm pretty sure Caleb Williams is higher than Bo. No, they're back-to-back. Bo Nix is one spot higher than Caleb. So, yeah, go with the stack. Give me the Bo Sutton stack this week, Marcy. Landon says Bourne, Trey Tucker, or Shepard. We getting deep in the season. I agree. This would probably be a... I definitely have to reference the rankings. Bourne's the highest. Bourne's the highest in my rankings. But not very high. You said it, deep. Wide receiver 37. Sit one, Lil Bill the King or QJ. I'm pretty sure we're sitting QJ without having a choice because I'm pretty sure QJ's not going to play this week. So it sounds like he's potentially trending towards being out. I guess if he's out or if he doesn't play early in the morning, if he plays, I'm going to still sit QJ because I'm worried about the limited availability. So I guess, yeah, I don't think it's going to matter. I think QJ's going to miss this game. Need to start one out of this group in PPR with a 0.5 tight end premium. DJ Moore, Troy Franklin, or Njoku. I'm going to start DJ Moore. And that doesn't make me happy. No problem, Tristan. D-Money says Herbert or May, and can you let me know your top 5 kickers this week? I got you. Herbert or May, the higher quarterback in my rankings this week is May as a top 5 play. Herbert is my QB9. My kickers, how's this? Brandon Aubrey, Chase McLaughlin, Cameron Dicker, Matt Prater, and Joshua Carty. Those are the ones for me this week at the kicker position. I traded for Amon-Ra in one of my leagues. I know you said you didn't really like Amon-Ra and May for Jacobs. London, and Penix, but I was able to get him to add Olave. So it's Olave, Amon-Ra, and May. Do you like that better? I mean, it's definitely better. So here's the way that I would view it. For Jacobs, London, and Penix, I would take Amon-Ra over London. I would take May over Jacobs. And then, yeah, I would take Olave over Penix, I guess. Yeah, I like that better for you then. If you're getting the Amon-Ra, May, and Olave side. I also put that trade in the Discord. Dope. Yeah, that'll be a good one to review potentially this week or this upcoming week. Anthony says Golden or Vidal in the flex. Give me Golden. And then Bryant says Travion, Kamara, Chase Brown, and half point PPR. Then Shaheed, T, or Judy. This is hurting my heart because I had high hopes for a lot of these guys. At the running back position, Travion Henderson is my running back 25. I got Kamara at 27, Chase Brown at 28. So I guess give me Henderson. And then for Shaheed, T, and Judy, give me T. Frizzle says Christian Watson or Matthew Golden rest of season. Don't own Golden, and Watson is on waivers. I would rather have Golden rest of season than Christian Watson. Marcy says, thanks, Andrew. Agree on the stack. Worried about game script, but who knows these days? For my husband, Worthy or Ladd. I like Ladd this week with the chance of QJ trending out. I think if QJ's not in this game, we could see that bounce back, that big game from a guy like Ladd McConkey and potentially Keenan Allen as well. So I like Ladd. Rashard or Kamani in the flex. Team is destroyed with injuries. I think it's got to be Kamani. Rashard's just not getting a workload. And all of the touchdown goal line work is going to Kareem Hunt. A-Rod says start Stafford or Fields in one league, and in the other, am I going Bo or May? I got May higher than Bo. As far as Stafford and Fields, I have Stafford one spot above Fields. So give me Stafford and May. Mike Carter or Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt? Give me Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Anthony says Lamb, London, Igbuka, Diggs, Reed, Golden, Franklin. Do I move one? I would maybe try and package two of them to upgrade. I mean, ideally, you just take the two off the back end of your bench. I think Reed's going to be fine when he comes back. I'd probably try and package Golden and Franklin together and upgrade into one more better guy. But I'd like to keep Lamb, London, Igbuka for the majority of the year. Probably the rest of the year. Prediction of Golden's stats. I have no idea what he's going to do this week. Feels like people are getting a little bit excited about Golden at the moment, or maybe people have been excited about Golden at the moment. Full disclosure here, Kevin, I have not been a Matthew Golden fan, truther in the pre-draft process, but I do have him as my wide receiver 33 this week, kind of similar to where guys like DJ Moore and Calvin Ridley are. So fine flex play, but I'm not expecting like a ton at the moment. Seth says, thanks, Andrew. Love the content, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting the show. Kevin says, Taylor or Tongas? Give me Mason Taylor. Is it crazy to flex Tyler Warren over Golden or Bourne? Starting McBride already at tight end? Absolutely not. I think he's a better play than both of those guys. Patty says, Ertz, Kittle, Shaheed. Start one. I'm assuming that's one. No premium. Well, we can't play Kittle this week. So I guess it's Ertz. Kittle did not get ruled in, right? I didn't even think he was activated off of IR. Yeah, it's Ertz. Made me think that for a second he got activated, and I did not see that. I was like, that would have been way bigger news than I thought. For kicker, Pinheiro or Prater. I got Prater higher in my rankings. Troy Franklin, Alec Iamaner, or Josh Downs in a full PPR. Oh, man. This is nasty boy season. Troy Franklin is my wide receiver 45. Josh Downs my wide receiver 46. And Iamaner is my wide receiver 51. So give me Troy. Patty says, Ertz, Kelsey, Shaheed, start 2. No premium. Okay. Kelsey, not Kittle. There we go. All right, you had me tripping. Kelsey's the play then. Kelsey would be the play. Non-PPR, 6-point passing touchdown, Dimes, Darnold, or Mac 10. Gimme. I know I just looked at where Dimes was, but I'm pretty sure he's the highest one in my rankings. He is. It's Dimes. Playing him. Sit 2. DJ Moore, Jennings, Charbonnet, Debo, Travis Hunter. We'll sit Travis Hunter and probably Charbonnet. Kevin says he's on IR. Yeah, that's why I was tripping for a second. I was like, Kittle, what the hell? A-Rod says it's 1 point tight end premium plus a PPR. Would you start Tongas over Fannin or Juwan Johnson? Similarly, would you play Ingram over either of them? Let's just go right through the rankings. I'll just tell you where all of these guys are ranked. So right now, Juwan Johnson is my tight end 14. Tongas is my tight end 16. Ingram is my tight end 19. And Fannin is my tight end 20. So Juwan Johnson is the highest in my rankings this week as the play. Franklin or Golden in the flex. Give me Golden. Should I start Jay Herbert or Daniel Jones? I'm going to go with Herbert. Herbert's 1 spot over Daniel Jones in my rankings. Jeremy says, what's acceptable for Derrick Henry at this time? The offer that is on the table is Deebo Samuel and a 2nd-round pick. I think that's more than a fair price for Derrick Henry. Honestly, I think I prefer the Deebo on the second side of the deal. But that's more than fair. Sounds like you're right in the ballpark of what he should be going for. Danny Dimes or Justin Fields? I got Danny Dimes higher than Justin Fields. I have Green Bay's defensive special teams. Would you still play T. Higgins at the flex? Yeah, probably would. I wouldn't downgrade my flex option just to avoid playing against my own defense. Kind of a pain, I get it, but it's not deferring me from playing somebody. Tim says Judkins or JCM. Judkins is higher in my rankings. Right now, he is a top 20 running back play for me. And I got JCM. Also in the top 20, but I like Judkins more. Where's Seattle's defense ranked for you? Right now, they are sitting as my defensive special teams number 6 on the week. I got Philly. Technically, they were my number 1 defense on the week. Hey, that ain't work out. Green Bay's number 2. The Rams are 3. Denver's 4. And Pittsburgh's 5. In Dynasty, it's looking like I'll be 2-4 after this week. But I have Lamar, Lamb, and Terry. Do I wait and see if it turns around when they're back or throw in the towel and retool this year? I think it depends on the rest of your roster as well. But the fact that Lamar and Lamb are probably 2 of your biggest pieces that you've built this team around, I'm going to say stick to it, because I think once those guys get back in the lineup here in a week or two, I think those guys are going to be back to top 5 performers at their position. So I'd probably stay the course and just see what happens over the next couple of weeks once they're back. Simp says full PPR, flex 2, BTJ, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Tucker Kraft, or Jawan Jennings. So for flexing 2 of them off the rip that I'm benching are going to be Jennings and Kraft. So it's BTJ, Breece, and Garrett. Probably trying to avoid playing both of those Jets, but honestly, I like them both better than BTJ. So just give me Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. Double jet. That sounds scary, but I'm double jetting it up. Alex says, okay, I have to sit 1 stud and a half PPR. London, Rome, Tet, Amon. Wow, that is crazy. Amon-Ra is the highest in my rankings, followed by Rome. And then where is it? Actually, I lied. It's Amon, then London, then Rome. So McMillan would be the sit for me. But that's crazy because he plays against Dallas, which is their 32nd against the wide receiver. I'm still sitting Tet, but like you said, you have to sit a stud, which is crazy. Start Matt Gay or the Colts kicker. I think this is more kicker questions than we've ever had, but I don't hate it. I currently have Matt Gay higher than the Colts kicker. Where is the Colts kicker in my rankings? Yeah, I'm going with Matt Gay. What about Diggs or Ladd at wide receiver 2? Thinking Ladd if QJ is out. I don't hate it. I'm really high on Diggs this week. I have him as a top 10 play. So I'd probably be trying to find a way to get both of these players into your lineup if QJ's out. But if it's between these two and your gut's telling you Ladd, I don't blame you. I just have Diggs higher in my rankings. Tyler is my tight end, and not sure if I should squeeze Kraft in my flex above the ones listed. No, I'd be sitting him still. But that's nice to have Tyler Warren and Tucker Kraft. Burden or Ellick this week. I like Burden more. We got a super chat here from Max. So Max will be skipping the line. Just a reminder, that is the best way to skip the line, folks. So if you just want to come in, get your question asked, answered, and dip, this is the best way to do it. So for $4.99, he says starting BTJ, Sutton, and Flowers, AJ Barner, or Alec Pierce in the second flex. So I would be playing Sutton over Brian Thomas and Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is going to be on a snap count, and BTJ has Trevor Lawrence as his quarterback. Now for the other guys in the second flex, AJ Barner or Alec Pierce. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. You're playing all three of those guys. Starting BTJ, Sutton, and Flowers. All right. AJ Barner or Alec Pierce in the second flex. Give me... I think I'm going to go with Alec Pierce here as a big play against the Miami Dolphins defense. But I would be looking to see if you have other options. I mean, if these are the last two options, I would still play Flowers over them. But Flowers is going to be on a snap count. But give me Alec Pierce here as the second flex. Man, I thought we had an easy question there. I was just going to lean Sutton as the best play. Where are we at? Ryan says, what's up, Andrew? With the QJ news, do you think I should start Ladd over Sutton? I still like Sutton as the play, but I'd be trying to get Ladd in the lineup, potentially, depending on who you have. Good morning, Rafi. Says half PPR, Ridley, or more for the rest of the season. Thank you. I'd rather go DJ Moore rest of season. Caleb or Stafford this week? Give me Caleb. Ken says start who? Mason Taylor or K-Dot in both tough matchups, but Godwin and Evans are out. Yeah, they're both out, but I think I like Mason Taylor's volume more at the moment, so I'd go with Mason Taylor. You have to sit one: Rome, Sutton, Javonte, or Jacobs. Well, I'm going to play Rome. I'm going to play Jacobs. It's between Sutton and Javonte. If I have to pick between the two, I think I'm going to play... I think I'm going to play Javonte and sit Sutton. It says full PPR as well. Sitting Tet with both London and Rome tomorrow night will be terrifying if he goes off. But I was planning it the same way you said. I'm glad we're on the same page. But yeah, I feel you. There's a league that I play in where basically... Sorry, let me ban this dude that's NFL streaming. They come in every week, and then they spam that link, try and scam y'all, give you a virus on your cell phone, and then they get banned from the chat. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I have a league where I have Mahomes, Gibbs, and somebody else in the Sunday night football game tonight. And then I have Josh Allen, Kincaid that I may or may not be waiting on. I still got to make that decision because of his injury, and a couple other players tomorrow night as well with Rome. It's like, oh, I have Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt tomorrow as well. My whole team plays on Monday night and Sunday night. So, like, this morning, my opponent's going to probably finish. He has really nobody going into tomorrow. So, I'm going to have my whole team tomorrow, and he's going to have his whole team today. So, I guess I'll know how many points my team needs to score tomorrow for me to win. It's going to be kind of crazy. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I own the Packers defense. The Pats defense is still on waivers. Should I pick them up or pick them up just in case the Packers do bad? Nah, I wouldn't roster two defenses. Would you take Golden and Franklin, trade for a player, and aim to get a 27 pick? Or aim to get a 27 pick? I mean, if you could move them for a 27 pick, I would try and do it. I don't know if you're going to be able to get it done. Maybe you can find the right manager where you're like, hey, Golden was a fringe first round guy. I'll give you Franklin on top. You give me a late 27 first. Like, you may be able to get that to happen. Probably not, though. So you may also be able to go and be like, give me a guy like Khalil Shakir and a 27 second maybe. And you can take the upside of Golden on like a different team. I don't know. It's going to be tough, but I'd probably be trying to go for the pick first, player second. Kel says Kenneth Walker, Troy Franklin, Alvin Kamara, Romeo Dobbs, pick one. K Walk. Give me Kenneth Walker. A-Rod says BTJ has Trevor Lawrence as his quarterback. Yeah, pretty much. Start Fields or a T-Lot QB and start ETN or Olave full PPR. Give me ETN and Fields. Sorry, am I also starting Fannin or Mason Taylor full PPR? Give me Mason Taylor, and you no need to apologize for asking the questions, man. That's what I'm here for. Is Buka going to be a top 12 wide receiver the rest of the season? Damn sure looks like it. I'm not fading him. Quentin or Michael Pittman? I don't think QJ is going to play, so I will probably just go with Michael Pittman. Ladd or Judkins in the flex? If QJ is out, give me Ladd. Quentin or Michael Pittman? We back-to-back. Didn't even give me time to get to it. But yeah, Michael Pittman. Alex says Golden and Franklin could get a high second in my league, but I don't know about a first. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird because it depends on your league. And I guess how people view Golden. It hasn't been good for Golden. And I only got one share of Matthew Golden in any of my dynasty leagues because I wasn't a big fan of him as a prospect, but there was a league where he fell to like the 203 or the 204. It was like the 203. I think it was the 203. And I was like, I'll take the first round wide receiver at the 203. Like, I might as well. I was basically deciding between him and like Trey Harris or Jaden Higgins with that pick. So I'm glad that I just went with Matthew Golden. Because yeah, that was just a different tier level for me. But I took Cam Scadaboo over Matthew Golden in one of my leagues, and I'm glad that I did so far. Things can change though. It's still early in their careers. Jamar Chase or Shaheed? Give me Chase, man. Golden God says half PPR, Jennings, Ramondre, Michael Carter. You got to pick two. I'm so nervous about Juwan Jennings this week. If we're being totally real, Juwan Jennings is currently sitting. It's my wide receiver 35. The ankle and the rib, I don't know. They're going to need him, though. I think I'm going to play... I think I'm going to play Carter and Jennings. Rav80 says, my bench is wide receiver Pittman, Dobbs, Jameson, Tyquan. Running backs are CMC, Rashid White, Montgomery, Kendrick Miller, Vidal, full PPR. Who to start? 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and 1 flex. So we're just going to set the whole lineup here. Wide receivers. Give me Pittman and J-Mo. The 2 running backs, I'm going to go CMC and White. And the flex on between Monty and Dobbs. I think I'm going to go Dobbs. So give me Pittman, Dobbs, J-Mo, CMC, and White. Anthony says, I got Golden at the 205 and couldn't pass up. Yeah, it was very interesting, man, to see the Golden experience this offseason, because if anybody was on, you know, Dynasty or Prospect Evaluation X or Twitter during the pre-draft process, there were people up and down swearing to you how good of a prospect Matthew Golden was and how high he should be going and how he could have been should have been the wide receiver 1 in the class and blah, 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 blah. And I'm not sitting here to, like, you know, I'm not poo-pooing on anybody's thoughts or analysis or whatever. You see what you see in your prospect evaluation. That's fine. But, like, it was just crazy to see how that was the narrative for him in a lot of these circles. And then every rookie draft that I was in, nobody drafted Golden. Like, Golden kept falling to early seconds, mid-seconds sometimes in rookie drafts. And it was like, I don't know, man. There was this narrative that he was this really good prospect, great prospect, went into a good landing spot, first-round draft capital, and then nobody would draft him. So it was just weird to see the disconnect from social media talk and how people were actually, you know, going about drafting him. It's kind of weird. Alex says, yeah, he fell to the 203 in my league because I took Higgins over him. Womp for both. It happens sometimes. Like I said, it's still early in these guys' careers. We can't really write anybody off yet. Who to flex in a PPR, JCM or Michael Carter? I would probably go with JCM. Better matchup for him. Higher chance for him to get some scoring opportunities. So we'll go with that. We are about 45 minutes in. Game's about 15 minutes away. So I'm going to call final call on questions, folks. We got, I'm just going to call final call, give you a couple minutes, maybe, 1 or 2 minutes here to get in these final questions. And then we'll wrap it up and get to watching some football this Sunday. Another long day of football, 4 slates, 4 time blocks to watch. I think next week, correct me if I'm wrong, let me see. I want to say next week we do not have a London game, so it should be back to normal programming. Maybe at least temporarily for like 1 or 2 weeks, because I know that they come back here eventually later in the season. So let me see. Schedule-wise, week 7. Never mind. Week 7, we got a London game. Week 8 is when it stops. Week 9, 10. Yeah. It looks like 1 more week, actually. And then the London games are done for a little bit, which will be nice. Honestly, only done for 2 weeks in a row. So week 7 London game, week 10 London game is what it looks like. So yeah. All right, let's get through these last questions here and then we'll wrap this one up. A-Rod says, I think Golden is still cream of the crop as far as prospect goes. J-Love just literally can't get him the rock for some reason. I don't know, man. I don't know. I was very skeptical, and it was one, like, I had a conversation, like, with one of my buddies in this space where he was high on Golden, and I was like, dude, I'm trying to see what you're talking about here with this elite tape, this elite separation, this whatever where you see it. Like, I'm trying my best to see it. I can't see it, dude. It was one that didn't click. But you know what? In the same breath, he was like, I don't like Egbuka. And I was like, I love Egbuka. I think Egbuka's a great player. And we had disconnect there. So he liked Golden, I liked Egbuka. And so far I'm winning that battle. But we'll see. We'll see. I traded Golden away for JMO weeks ago. Feel like I regret it, but I'm going to pick up Luther Burden to make myself feel better. Not bad. I still would rather have JMO over Golden. Jefferson plus Thornton or Egbuka plus Garrett Wilson. Give me Egbuka plus Garrett Wilson. Go Broncos. There you go. Traded 26 first and a second to get the 105 in 25 where I took Egbuka. Did I overpay? Never going to overpay if you get a superstar like that. Alex says, no more questions, but thanks as always, bro. Love to see you on the Nerds too. Moving on up. Always a fan, my man. Appreciate you, Alex. Means a lot, man. Been cool working with those guys over there. I think they're good people, man. It's a good fit for me too. I think from a cultural and a personality standpoint, it's a good fit, me over there. So I like it. Enjoy spending some time with them. We need to get a couple more of them over here doing some stuff. Some guest spots on the League FFB for sure too. You like Fields or May? I like May more. Vidal or Hunt? I'm going to go with Hunt just for the touchdown upside. Frizzle says, I got a bench spot. Stash Kyle Monungai, Emmanuel Wilson, Brian Robinson, or Ollie Gordon. He said Brashard Smith is still there. I would go with Brian Robinson because, to be honest, if you're stashing, you're hoping for an injury. And none of these players have the upside that Brian Robinson does if he gets an injury to Christian McCaffrey. So I would just go with Brian Robinson. And if there is ever a CMC injury, God forbid it, because he's balling. But if there ever was, B-Rob would be fantastic as a play. So, all right, folks, there it is. Got this London game. Appreciate everybody for being here this morning with me, bright and early. Don't know why. My body woke me up this morning at 4 a.m. So I've been up since 4 a.m. tinkering with Dynasty lineups while I couldn't sleep. Hopefully you guys get a little bit more sleep than me. But, yeah, man, that's it. Appreciate you. Hit the like button on the way out. And, again, if you do want to support the channel, if you do want to support the show, League FFB over on Underdog is the best way to do it. You play $5, they'll give you $100, and it is Boost-tober, so you get promos in the app all day, all month long here in the month of October. So go do that for me if you haven't. You just want to try it out. It's a cool way to support the channel. But all that being said, I have nothing else for you guys today. See you on the next episode. Till then, peace out.